Welcome to Off the Crossbar. Season 2 is upon us, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Joey Lindstrom. That is Drew Bevelheimer. We are back with a vengeance, back again, and we cannot wait to be with you. Isn't that right, Drew?
Oh, absolutely. I'm excited to be back. We have a little experience under our belt after going in the booth, for Butler football. So I think we're ready to bring it a little extra in season 2.
Yeah, that was a blast. You did well for your first color commentating, by the way.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
It was fun to be a part of that, and not only be in the booth, like watching who we played for, but also being able to hear Drew and actually see him. When no one got to actually see him except for me, quivering in the first time because he was so nervous to do a good job for the color commentary. But you did well.
Thank you. I still can't say especially correctly, but that's okay.
Yeah, you did get a lot of flack for the old X especially. It's like when people say espresso versus espresso.
Yeah,
No one's ever gonna say it right.
No, it's okay.
Well, you sound really enthused to be back for season 2.
I'm very enthused. I've just been waking up at 5 a.m. every morning, so I'm a little tired.
Yep. So woe is me, Drew is back. That did not change whatsoever. Nope. But what is going to change is a little bit different structure for you guys. So here at Off the Crossbar, our goal has always been to share the stories of some tremendous people and rattle off some of the most spicy takes in the sports world you've ever seen. So athletes, media types, coaches, and the like all make up this crazy world of sports. And our inspiration and our ideology behind the iteration of season 2 is to create a product that cultivates a relationship with our listeners that hopefully makes you feel inspired as well to go along your day, whether that be in the car, in the office, picking the kids up, or what have you. We hope that you feel a little bit inspired. And we have a lineup of guests this season that is going to knock your socks off. So we hope to move you in some way with our show, whether it be from us or our guests, and hopefully get a laugh or two out of you as well somewhere in that process. So now that we're here, time to get busy and bring it. Whole cast of characters lined up for season 2. Cannot wait to share them all with you. Welcome to season 2. Let's get started. By the way, YouTube page is live. Off the Crossbar is our channel. We will post all our Zoom meetings because we have to, because Drew is away off getting his master's degree in speech pathology, and I am working my day job and pursuing my career as a sports broadcaster. So let's talk a little bit of sports. Let's just dive in. Like, why not? The Milwaukee Bucks, if you are watching on YouTube, you can see my shirt. My Bucks are in the Eastern Conference Finals after defeating the Brooklyn Nets in a best of 7 series. And I could not be more excited that we got the Atlanta Hawks because we are pulling out the brooms. We're sweeping away, baby, right to the NBA Finals.
Yeah, I just realized, I listened to everything you said, but I just realized you said this was going to be on YouTube, and I didn't think about that, and I look terrible.
So, you wore your best shirt for our
it's
for
exciting.
Our premiere of season 2.
Yeah. I actually got this shirt. This is not a sponsor or anything, but if you all enjoy working out or wearing like athletic clothing, the Going Gone outlet in Avon, Indiana is a great place. This is like a $60 shirt. I got it for $20. So I highly recommend it. But yeah, the Bucks are doing well, shockingly, considering they're hundreds of millions of dollar superstar. Can't make free throws, and they don't really want to give it to him at the end of the game. But that's okay. It's not.
He made two in Game 6, right at the end, right when it mattered. Game 5, excuse me, right when it mattered.
Yeah, that's 2
I will
out
say
of
that.
But he probably missed way more than 2. I think just only being able to point to like he made 2 free throws, I think that's part of the problem.
Well, I will say credit to Brooklyn and their fans for counting out the number of seconds that Giannis takes when he's at the free throw line. That's atrocious. That's ridiculous. I'll never understand that. It's terrible to watch. You don't need 7 dribbles at the free throw line. It's the Michael Scott from The Office thing in the basketball episode when he throws it up twice to himself, grannies it to himself, puts it on the ground, takes a breath, then starts to shoot, takes a couple of dribbles, then actually shoots.
Yeah, and I think Jay Williams said it, but it's like Usain Bolt can run 100 meters faster than Giannis can shoot. one free throw, which is incredible. But I did have a question about that series. It's like the Brooklyn Nets, like they're already out at this point, but like when they make this super team and then two guys go out, so Harden and Kyrie were both out, and then it fell on Kevin Durant, and he still has a relatively solid team around him. Like he has Joe Harris that can make like knockdown threes. He still has Blake Griffin, who is still playing well, like can still do everything he's always done. He can rebound, he can dunk. I mean, that's what he's done his whole career. And then you lose your series. Does that then hurt his reputation? Because like he is effectively showing, in my opinion, that like he can't carry it. Like he is not good enough to carry a team. And like, and no offense to you, I mean, like the Bucks are getting better, but it's not like they have ever been known as. I mean, you're telling me like that Kevin Durant can't be like Giannis, who most people would rank above him, and like in a team with Chris Middleton as like their second best player. Like, does that hurt his reputation?
Does it hurt? I don't know. I mean, some people are arguing about the fact that, Harden was out for the first couple games. For the first three, the Bucks do win one of them. He tries to play, or actually first four, and then he does try to play in game 5. They end up winning, and take that 3-2 lead. Kyrie gets hurt. So like they never had all the big three at once, right? Except for the beginning of game 1. So I don't know.
Yeah.
I feel like KD has a certain air about him that like he's going to win another championship at some point. I think it's with the Nets. They just ran into bad timing with the Bucks and some injury bugs, but injuries happen. You can blame injuries for losses, but it's part of the game too, right?
Yeah, but and I just think too, like I just wish like people would remember how they said like when LeBron made a super team, which compared to this super team was not a super team. I mean, like you have three of arguably the top 5 players in the NBA right now. Okay, the three of the top 10 on the same team, and like LeBron had like Kevin Love as one of his big three. And people were like, oh, like this is ridiculous. But like at least he made the finals. Like even when those guys got hurt, he still made the finals. Like when like those guys get hurt for Kevin Durant, he can't still make the finals.
Yeah, it's a tough road to go down for if you're the Nets. But I think Steve Nash, he had the right idea. He's a guy that like he was so confident in his team, and that's what you want to see out of a coach. But it almost like became their downfall. I mean, yeah, was KD a big toe away from possibly closing that game out at the last second? Yeah, but the line's the line, right? So that's just sometimes how the ball rolls. Ball don't lie.
No,
So
no, it was on
in the
them.
future, though, I feel like the Nets have again a real shot. They will certainly win, but I'm not worried about that in the future because it's over. The Bucks won. They're going to play the Hawks, Coach Budenholzer's old team. I did a little bit of digging. The Hawks haven't made it to the Eastern Conference Finals since 2015, 2016 in that
1911.
season.
Oh,
What?
okay. I thought you were gonna say 1911.
Since 1911?
Yeah.
No.
Oh,
This was like Al Horford, Jeff Teague, like when they were like not prime, but like they're falling out of their prime right before Al Horford got traded to the 76ers. Budenholzer that was his first year. He was 60 and 22. They lost to Cleveland. They got swept in the Eastern Conference finals. They only missed the playoffs those following years in 2019, and he got fired. So then he goes to the Bucks. He has a 60 and 22 record to start with the Bucks. He does kind of variously better like the next year. Has a great year, almost 70 wins the following year, and then they lose to the Raptors, obviously. So the Bucks, this is the time. I mean, like I think Charles Barkley unfortunately jinxed them by saying that they would sweep the Hawks. I also said they would sweep them, but I don't believe they actually will. The Hawks are too hot. The Hawks are too good. Chris Middleton, 38% from 3 in the playoffs. And I mean, he's been taking over games when Giannis has failed. They're so pitiful to watch when they try to just do this ISO one-on-one ball. They just need to move around. And losing Dante DiVincenzo kind of stunk because he was their main source of 3-point shooting throughout the whole year. They're the best 3-point shooting team in the league. And their brand of basketball like needs to change if they're going to want to keep up with the Hawks. But I like what PJ Tucker does defensively. Hopefully, he does well against Trae Young. Drew Holiday, obviously, another great defensive player, if not better than PJ Tucker usually, but Tucker has been great throughout these playoffs.
Yeah, I think they're a good team. I think the coolest part for me is that you look at the 4 teams that are in it, and none of them have like the big name guys, to the extent that like there's no LeBron, there's no KD, there's no Kyrie, there's no Steph and Clay and Draymond. Like it's like the young guys getting a shot. And will that continue to be the case? I mean, probably not. I mean, like it won't be all 4 teams like this, and probably over the next like 5-6 years, you're always going to have one of those guys in it. But it's nice to see like the younger regime kind of get in.
And last night, we're recording this at game one for the Bucks Hawks, but last night the Valley Oop, which is the sickest pun that I wish I came up with. Jay Crowder, beautiful pass to DeAndre Ayton, alley oop at the buzzer to defeat the Clippers, and Paul George missing 2 free throws at the end. Do you remember when Paul George was at Hinkle and they were filming that Gatorade commercial?
Yes,
And he flips his wrist and he goes, ball game. Somebody like made a clip of that and then cut to his free throws missed. It was great.
and I also think it's great too because like he said this year when like after the bubble, and when he went back to like go work out with his trainer, he said something like time to get back like into MVP form, and everyone was like, "You've never won an MVP. Like how can you reach a form you've never attained? Like
and
my
then
goodness!"
and
And then
then
to miss 2 free throws with 8 seconds left, you didn't even have to hit them both, just hit one. Like
when they beat the Jazz, Terrence Mann when he had 39 points or something, and Paul George said, "Yeah, I see a lot of myself in him."
yeah, it's
Oh, do
ridiculous.
you? So he's
Like, I
gonna
mean,
choke at
one,
the
you're a
line.
snake. Yeah, I mean, you're a snake when you left Indiana and said, like, I'm not playing for them, and you lost all trade value for your team. And then you come out and say, like, my name's Playoff P. And then you're awful, more like Poopy P. And then it's like, and then you miss 2 free throws. And it's like, I mean, you could put like almost like any one of us that were on our intramural basketball team and put us at the free throw line. Even in that situation, like, I could probably make a free throw. Like, like I can't play in the NBA, no chance. Like there's no way. But like if you put me on a free throw line and said, "Hey, make one of these," probably could do that.
Even Granny shot. Why not? Why not try it?
You could bank it. You could. I mean, and did you see like how defeated he got after he missed the first one? It was
Oh,
like he not like a not like a positive fist pump, but like a bummer, like, oh man, like he got all tense and like upset that he missed the first one. And it's like, dude, like you still have another way to it's like he mentally lost before it even like before his second one even was shot. I don't know. It was just mental midget.
yeah.
As we like to say.
I think the Suns take that series. I don't know if it's in 4 games because they have to go back to LA, but I just like that all 4 teams, like you said, they don't have. They're a little bit unassuming. Like nobody thought that these 4 teams would probably be in this position. So it's actually pretty entertaining. And you know, those NBA people, the people who don't watch the NBA a lot, I suppose, um, saying that it's rigged or what have you, or there's some things that are fixed. It's soft. Yeah, it's soft, and it's probably going to continue to be. But I think it changes in the playoffs. I think there's a different type of attitude, and it's been actually a lot of fun to watch, especially when you have a dog in the fight. I suppose it's nothing like NHL playoffs where there's a lot of physicality. There's rivalries. Which, by the way, both those series have been so much fun to watch. And I think both are tied right now as of tonight. I'm not sure, but switching gears though, Bevy, we have ended up talking a little bit more about sports. This was meant to just be a preview episode, but look, you got bonus content. I wanted to ask your thoughts about what's going on with Major League Baseball. I not being as into baseball as I think most people lately. On Twitter, I'm seeing so many different cheating allegations and different kind of things with like they were deadening balls and then spider tack came into play.
Yeah.
I'm just so confused, but it's just making MLB even more insufferable.
Yeah. A quick addendum, if you will, to what we just talked about. There is Kawhi Leonard, but he's been so quiet. It's like he's not even playing. So I guess there is a superstar, but not playing like a superstar. But yeah, so like I think there are numerous problems, and I will just start from the top. So basically, okay, so we had the steroid era, right, which improved hitters' ability to hit home runs significantly. And then supposedly the MLB, like they juiced baseballs because like no one wants to go to an MLB game to watch a no hitter. Like it's cool if you're there, but like no one wants to see a game where it's like pitcher has 13 Ks, one earned run. Like that's not fun to watch. You just see one team run out and run back in. Like you're not actually watching anything fun. So they juiced the baseball so they could get it. Well, then the pitchers had to figure something out because also for all of you who don't know, like I have done some research on it. Like so when they get the baseballs, it's kind of like how they break in footballs. Like they put it in a thing of mud and then like they wipe it off and that's how they break it in. That's the only break in they do. So like there's no grip on the ball. So pitchers already didn't have a great grip. So then I believe rosin has always been legal, which like is a sticky substance, but not to like the extent. So like and guys would do like sweat and rosin, or they would do like sunscreen and rosin. Then you keep going, and then it's like too many home runs were hit. So then they deadened the balls, so less home runs were hit, and the pitchers kept using spider tack and all that, which has always been in what's it called for the MLB? It's like the CBA agreement for like, is that for basketball? But
Yeah,
there's an agreement
I don't
between
know.
the players
It's
and the
probably the same kind
MLB.
of thing.
Yeah. And there's like an agreement between the players and the MLB that has like a bunch of rules. And technically, one of the rules is about like you can't like doctor a ball technically, but they've never actually used that rule. And like certain things have always been legal. So rosin has always been legal. Then this whole spider tack thing came out because who's the guy on the Cubs that has come out of nowhere? He's 29. Um,
Sorry.
something Freedom, Patrick Freedom, something like that.
Patrick Wisdom?
Patrick Wisdom, thank you. So like he was talking today, and he said it's basically like you're trying to hit a wiffle ball sometimes when they throw a slider because they can spin it so much more. And like so now they're getting on the pitchers, making them change halfway through the season. Like and Tyler Glasnow now has a partially torn UCL, which he blames because he has to grip harder, which makes sense because like they explained it's like when you throw the ball like you're loose and then you're tight at the end, but if you have to grip it harder, you're tight the whole time in your forearm, and that's really bad for your forearm. So they shouldn't have switched it in the middle. I think spider tack should not be allowed, but I think like some sticky substances should be because, and final point, you let the batters use pine tar so they can grip the bat better, so they can hit better because their hands get sweaty and stuff. So you want them to be able to grip the bat. But then when the pitchers want to grip the ball a little better, that's suddenly not allowed. And like you look at a guy like Jacob DeGrom who has he has more RBIs this year than he has like given up earned runs. It's like he hits. It's like if he uses pine tar on his bat and then goes out to pitch, like
Yeah.
what does he have to do? Because one thing he's doing is legal, and then you're going to tell him it's illegal. But all the other field players who use pine tar on their bat and get it on their hands can play the rest of the game, and that helps you too because you can throw the ball faster from the outfield. Maybe you gun a guy down to third. Like, how do you make this decision in the middle of a season and not have any way for them to still get a better grip on the ball?
Well, there's a lot of implications that you are trying to control, but in reality, like it's just messing everything up. I don't really understand the strategy. They're just trying to duct tape solution. So they're trying to duct tape solve everything. It doesn't make sense to me why they would do it. Well, the timing of it doesn't make any sense to me. What doubly doesn't make sense is why do this at such a time when baseball is losing a lot of momentum anyway in the media. Like obviously there's going to be professional baseball players forever, but the MLB is becoming as a product is becoming almost unwatchable. And it's like I don't find myself interested in watching MLB games because it always seems like there's going to be drama. It's like the NBA games when like the Suns last night, a minute and a half to go took 33 minutes. I'm not watching that, you know.
No,
It
I mean,
makes it I want to see the end. I want to see the exciting parts, and it just makes it elongates the game. People only have so much interest in it, and once you take out something interesting, what's there to watch?
yeah, and like it takes too long, and that's period. And now you're doing all this other stuff. But another thing the wisdom guy on the Cubs said was he said to an extent, it's like a safety thing too. He's like, if the pitchers want to grip the ball a little better, like that's fine with me because I don't want to take a faceball. I don't want I don't want to take a 95-mile-an-hour fastball straight to the face. He was like, so if they can control it better with some type of sticky stuff, that's good too. Like he was like, they just need to figure out what that is. And I think the rosin is a simple solution because guys had been using that for years. And it's not like we're like the leading home run hitters right now, halfway through, still have like 23 or 24 home runs right now.
Yeah.
Like it's not like we aren't seeing home runs. And not everybody's using spider tack. I think spider tack probably shouldn't be allowed, but to some level it's like what like baseball has always been and always will be a game of cheating. Like people have always stretched the rules because they don't enforce all, like because steroids were never outlawed in the MLB exactly.
Yeah.
Like they never came out and said steroids are 100% against the rules. They were like, you guys shouldn't use steroids, but like, you know what I mean? Like, you know, if you get caught taking like steroids in the NFL, you're done.
Right.
For however long. In the MLB, it was never like that. So it's always their fault, and then they always fix it incorrectly.
Well, we'll just see what happens with the MLB. Thanks for filling me in, filling our listeners in, and maybe didn't know. It's also fitting that the MLB is doing this now when, again, they're losing their media coverage and their momentum as a sport.
And the last thing, the checks, dude. The umpires coming out and checking them like 3 times a game.
That is what, though. I think that should continue. That's the funniest
That's
thing.
Hilarious. Did you? I think it's Ramos is his last name. Ruiz.
Yeah.
The pitcher for the A's.
Sergio Ramos, I think. Sergio. He rips his belt off, starts taking off his pants so the guy
pulls it down to his knees. Like, and I mean, that's what they should, like, it's ridiculous. Like, if you get them checked once.
And Max Scherzer, too.
Yeah, like, that should be enough. Like, what?
Yeah.
Like, the umpires ran their hands through his sweaty hair because they thought he was who in their right, like, under any circumstances, would put a sticky substance. One, he's balding. So, like,
maybe that's the only way that he can make his hair stick up, Drew. It looks like he has more.
Yeah, but like what? Like why would he put sticky stuff that would probably pull the little hair out that he's trying to hold on to?
Need you to be more considerate.
Yeah. Well, but that's another great point. Like, what if a pitcher uses hair gel? And no, like seriously, like he uses hair gel, he takes off his hat, runs like he doesn't think about it, runs his hand through his hair, and the umpires come out and check him. Like
they're wearing hats anyway, though. Like, why would they wear hair gel?
Some people are weak because those guys. Some guys still have like that perfect hair after they take their hat off, and that just does not happen.
I'm not superstitious, but I am a little stitious.
Yeah, I mean, it's just I don't know. But the checks, like they're funny to us, but I'd be so pissed.
Yeah.
So I'm sorry, excuse me. I'd be so upset.
You could be pissed.
Okay, I'd be pissed.
We're trying to keep it PG, but we don't. That's fine.
Yeah, we'll go PG 10 and up.
Like we said, this is when you're picking up your kids, whatever I said. Well, anyway, that's good. Hopefully baseball turns it around in general. That's all I got this weekend. PLL week 3, in case you were interested or watching Peacock TV or NBC Sports Gold Archers, my team. They are currently 2-0. And who are you pulling for, Bevy? Originally, Water Dogs. Yeah, Water Dogs are 1-1 right now, or 2-1, excuse me. So their Archers are at the top, arrows up, and Water Dogs are third, I think.
And I would also like to say, just like to end it, like in Carl Nassib of the Oakland Raiders.
Yeah, very cool moment.
Yeah, coming out as the first openly gay player on an active NFL roster.
Right.
And we have always been a podcast who supports social justice, like issues and things of that nature. And just want to take a second and say that was just a really cool moment. And a lot of positivity from a lot of guys around the league. And it will be hard. Like there will be guys in that locker room that don't accept it, and there will be fans that don't accept it. So just like the strength that took, and just it's just good to see, because like based on the odds and like statistics, he's not the only gay player to ever go through the NFL. He's probably not the only gay player to be in the NFL like right now. So It's nice to see somebody start to change that culture.
Sure. We saw it back with Michael Sam a few years ago, and That was a big deal, and it's still a big deal now, obviously. But also a very cool thing too that his jersey sales amassed a ridiculous amount. I don't know the number off the top of my head, but it just goes to show you that conversation can really be helpful. And the fact that he donated $100,000 to the Trevor Project, Trevor Project, and their stat that they put out, 40%, there's a 40% lower chance that a person in the LGBTQ community commits suicide when they have a trusted person that accepts their sexuality, right? So that's amazing. Kudos to Carl, and I hope that trend continues and that conversation becomes more comfortable for people who might have felt the same way about or felt the same way as Carl.
Yeah, and I think like that John Gruden said it best when he said, like, I learned a long time ago that like what makes a man different is what makes him great. So I hope that is the attitude everybody can take into the NFL season, which I know is probably not possible, but it'll be nice to see people start to like realize that what makes people different is what also makes them great.
Yeah, that feels like a trend in the right direction. So that will do it for us, season 2 preview. And whether you wanted it or not, you got more of us than even we were expecting. We're fired up with these about sports, and obviously, and the guests that we're going to have next week. We're not going to say who, but a player in a professional league working on his chance to make his dreams come true. And that's all we're going to say about it.
Trevor Lawrence.
We wish. That'd be sweet. A fellow long hair fellow, though.
Trevor Lawrence.
And a stud college player. So he will be on next week. And we have several other guests lined up this year that are going to knock your socks off. Thanks so much. For Drew Bevelheimer, I'm Joey Lindstrom signing off. We will see you guys next time on the second episode of season 2 for Off the Crossbar. Thanks a lot.
Stay safe.
That is not a guy that I would ever want to try to battle rap. Snap, crackle, pop, mind fried to a crisp, make an MC into a wide-eyed lunatic.